Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, thanks a lot for having us in this video. Please kindly watch until the end of our video. Today's material, we're gonna talk about the definition of creative writing. And this is the name of members for the first group. I'm Rahai, and I would like to tell you about what is creative writing. Creative writing is a noun. It's about writing, typically fiction or poetry, which displays imagination or invention, often contrasted with academic or journalistic writing, Oxford language. Creative writing is a technical form of literature. The true definition of creative writing is original writing that expresses ideas and thoughts in an imaginative way. It's the art of making things up or putting a creative splash on history, as in creative nonfiction. In any instance, creative writing makes you step out of reality and into a new realm inspired by your own imagination. With creative writing, you are able to express feeling and emotion instead of cold, hard facts as you would in academic writing. Alright, that about the definition. Next part will be explained by my friends.
Okay, I'm Aprilia. I want to tell you about type of creative writing. There are type of creative writing which can be categorized as fiction or non-fiction. The first is biographies. Fiction, like novels, novellas, short stories. And the next is speeches, poetry, songs, playwriting or script writing, and the last is personal essay. So that's all type of creative writing, and that is the most popular ways to write. Okay, the next presentation will be explained by my friend.
Okay, I'm Mrs. Arianti. I continue the presentation straight away. I explain how to get started with creative writing. Number 1, read a lot. Find and read as many creative writings as you can. By reading a lot, you can find out what other writers have done and are currently making. Then you will get inspiration about what you should write. Number 2, use your own writing style. If you read a lot, you will find that every writer has their own style of writing. However, you need to remember that this writing style is your characteristic that has been formed for a long time. They have also adapted it to their target audience. Number 3, always write down the ideas that come up. Ideas can come anytime and anywhere. Don't let the idea just come to you. Always write down the ideas that come up in one particular place, like a notepad or notebook. Ideas are valuable asset in a creative writing work. If you don't write it down, the idea may overflow and not come to you again. Number 4, so not explaining means that you write a lot of description in your writing. In fact, such an explanation tends to bond the reader. Someone's read creative writing in the hope that they can share their imagination with the author. If you have explained it in detail, the reader can only accept what you describe, so it's better to show what's in your story. You can show it through conversations, relationships between characters, what they do, and so on. And the last 5, edit post. Usually a creative writing work is not finished immediately in one writing. Usually, a writer will spill his ideas. In his first writing, the ideas presented are still fairly raw. Edit the text. You need to edit the article too.
Okay, I'm Sri Mangkalu and I would like to explain about what are the elements of creative writing. Number 1. Character. At the least, characters carry out the work of the plot in a story. At the most, characters fill and write the entire story. Characters may be human or not, animate or not. Number 2. Plot. Plot is what happens in the story. Generally, plots follow a simple arc. By the time most writers begin to write, they have already been exposed to many plots via popular culture. Every book, movie, and song has a plot. Something happens. Even game shows have plots. Number 3. Setting. Setting is where your story takes place. You may have one or many depending on the needs of your story. Number 4. Point of view. In determining whose point of view to use, determine first whose story you are telling. There are several choices of types of point of view. First person, I and you. Second person, you. More commonly, third person, she, he. Third person, omniscient, which includes seeing our characters' minds. And lastly, third person limited, which tells the whole story through one character. Number 5. Style. Changing your style, if you wish to, can be achieved with competency such as elevated diction and specific themes. It is even possible to authors with more pronounced styles, but no one has suggested it makes you a better writer. Number 6. Theme. Theme in fiction is not limited to any specific set of ideas. Your themes refers to the moral of the story or the bigger ideas in your story such as murder, betrayal, honesty, and compassion. Number 7. Literary devices. Other types of literary devices include but are not limited to allusion, diction, epigraph evenness, foreshadowing, imagery, metaphor or simile, and personification. You may not plan to use any of these, but do recall that everything written ever contains these devices and they are exceedingly useful to writers. The next part will be explained by my friend.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last part of our presentation. I would like to tell you some important thing of creative writing. Firstly, of course, creative writing can building confidence. Creative writing can build our confidence. When writing creatively, you are engaging in an exercise that will allow you to truly develop your own voice and perspective without consequential limitations. And the next point is artistic self-expression. When you begin to write and unveil characters or setting, you are able to better identify why you are stressed or add violence and cover the negative emotions that you are experiencing. Next is imagination balls. When you engage in creative writing, you are simulating and pushing your imaginations and thinking outside the box. This allows you to refocus your energy on another thing and to become better discovering alternatives and new solutions to problems you are experiencing. And the next is thought clarifications. Creative writing allows you to clarify your thoughts as well as your emotions. This exercise allows you to clarify your thoughts about what type of information will be valuable to include for your writers and what can be omitted. And the next is better understanding of mechanics of reading and writing. As you begin to regularly do writing exercise, you will not only gain more extensive vocabulary, you will also come to understand the mechanics of reading and writing better. And the next point is empathy and communication skill. When writers create universe with imaginary characters and setting, they must also imagine personalities, emotions, place, and worlds of life outside of their own lives. And the last point is better mental, emotions, and physical health. Creative writing alleviates stress level and can ward off several illnesses among other things. Well, ladies and gentlemen, these are several important things from creative writing. So start from right now, take your pen and your book, start write something creatively. That's all. Thank you so much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.